At the top of the world where the horizon dissolves into an endless canvas of white, survival is not a guarantee. It is an art form. This is the high Arctic, a landscape of extremes where temperatures plummet to 60 degrees below zero and the wind can strip the heat from a human body in minutes. Yet, for thousands of years, the Inuit have not only endured this frozen frontier, but mastered it. They have turned the very elements that threaten life into the tools that sustain it. It begins with the snow itself. To the untrained eye, it is merely frozen precipitation. But to the Inuit, snow is an engineering material superior to concrete or wood in this environment. The construction of the igloo or igloo is a testament to indigenous geometry. Using a knife carved from bone or antler, the builder identifies the perfect drift, wind-packed snow, dense enough to hold weight, but filled with enough air pockets to act as a supreme insulator. The blocks are not stacked like bricks, they are cut in a spiral. This continuous coil creates a self-supporting dome, a catenary arch that distributes the weight of the roof down through the walls, ensuring the structure won't collapse under the crushing weight of a blizzard. As the wind howls outside, it acts as a finishing tool, sintering the snow crystals together until the walls are as hard as stone. Inside this white shell, a transformation occurs. The temperature difference between the exterior and interior can be as much as 40 degrees, created solely by body heat and a single, small flame. This flame is the heartbeat of the home. It lives within the Qulliq, the traditional crescent-shaped soapstone lamp. In a land without forests, where driftwood is a rare treasure buried under snow, fire is a luxury. The fuel is rendered fat, blubber from seals or whales, which burns slow and hot. The wick is a marvel of botany, tufts of Arctic cotton grass or dried moss, carefully arranged along the straight edge of the lamp. Tending the Qulliq is a skill passed down through generations of women. It requires constant vigilance to ensure the flame remains even, smokeless, and bright. This single vessel provides the three pillars of Arctic survival: light to banish the perpetual winter darkness, warmth to dry damp clothes, and heat to cook food and melt water. Water is the paradox of the Arctic. You are surrounded by it, yet it is locked away in a solid state. Dehydration is a silent killer in this cold desert. To solve this, a block of freshwater ice, often harvested from a frozen lake miles away, is suspended above the lamp. As the heat rises, the ice weeps, drop by drop, into a collection vessel below. It is a slow, rhythmic process, a clock counting the passage of time in the quiet shelter. But warmth and water are only half the equation. The human body is a furnace, and in these temperatures, it burns fuel at a staggering rate. The Inuit diet is an evolutionary adaptation to the cold. With no agriculture possible, the menu is strictly carnivorous: fish, seal, caribou, and whale. Often eaten raw or frozen, this food is nutrient-dense. Raw meat and fat preserve essential vitamins, specifically vitamin C, which are destroyed by cooking. This prevents scurvy, a disease that plagued European explorers who did not understand the wisdom of the local diet. The high-fat content provides the massive caloric intake required to keep the metabolism firing, generating the internal body heat that fights the cold from the inside out. While the hunters scour the ice, life inside the igloo is a hub of industry. Survival here depends on technology, but not the electronic kind. It is the technology of the needle and the knife. Clothing is the first line of defense. A parka made of caribou skin is warmer than the most advanced synthetic fibers in the world. The hollow hairs of the caribou fur trap a layer of air against the body, creating a microclimate. The sewing of these garments is critical. A master seamstress uses thread made from sinew, dried animal tendon. When sinew gets wet, it expands, sealing the needle holes and making the boots, known as qummiqs, completely waterproof. A single gap in a seam, a single flaw in the stitching could let the frost in, leading to the loss of a toe or a finger. Every stitch is a deliberate act of protection for a loved one. Tools, too, are born from the animal world. In the absence of metal, bone and ivory from walrus tusks become knives, harpoon heads, and needles. The shapes are organic, ergonomic, designed by hands that know exactly how the tool must perform in the grip of a frozen mitten. There is no waste here. Every part of the animal is honored and utilized. The skin for warmth, the flesh for food, the bones for tools, and the fat for light. It is a closed loop of existence, a perfect symbiosis between the hunter and the hunted. As the day, or what passes for day in the twilight of winter, fades, the igloo becomes a sanctuary of calm. Outside, the wind may be screaming at hurricane force, scouring the ice sheet, but inside, the thick snow walls absorb the sound, leaving only a muffled hum. A window, cut from a slab of clear freshwater ice, is set into the wall above the entrance tunnel. It catches the faint glow of the moon or the stars, acting as a skylight that connects the inhabitants to the cosmos while shielding them from the blast. The entrance tunnel itself is an ingenious heat trap. Dug lower than the sleeping platform, it acts as a cold sink. Cold air, being heavier, settles in the tunnel, while the warm air, lighter and precious, rises to the top of the dome where the people sleep. Elevated on a platform of snow, covered in layers of thick furs, the family rests in a pocket of warm air, defying the lethal freeze just a few feet away. This isolation fosters a rich inner life. In the golden glow of the stone lamp, stories are told, histories are recited. The oral tradition keeps the past alive, teaching the young how to read the ice, how to navigate by the stars, and how to respect the spirits of the land and the animals. It is a psychological survival mechanism as potent as the physical ones. In the vast emptiness, community and connection are what keep the mind intact. Even the waste is managed with care. The snow floor is scraped clean daily. Fresh snow is laid down. Hygiene is maintained even in these impossible conditions. Everything has a rhythm, a procedure. Chaos is the enemy. Order is safety. Sometimes the silence is broken by the shifting of the sea ice, a groan and a crack that reverberates for miles. It is a reminder that the ground they sleep on is not land at all, but a frozen ocean drifting over the dark depths below. It is a precarious existence living on the skin of the world, yet the Inuit move with a confidence born of deep understanding. They do not fight the environment, they move with it. When the ice shifts, they move. When the game migrates, they follow. They are nomads of the flow edge, untethered but deeply rooted in the culture of the North. As the long night stretches on, the sky above often erupts in color. The aurora borealis, the northern lights, curtain the stars in green and violet. To science, it is solar wind hitting the magnetosphere. To the ancestors, it was the spirits of the dead playing across the sky. Under this celestial display, the igloo glows like a lantern on the snow, a tiny beacon of humanity in the vast, indifferent wilderness. To witness this life is to witness the ultimate capacity of human adaptation. It challenges our modern definition of comfort. We often think of technology as chips and wires, but the curve of the igloo, the chemistry of the oil lamp, and the biology of the skin clothing are technologies of the highest order. They are designs refined over millennia, tested not in a laboratory, but in the fiercest climate on Earth. Here, in the white silence, time seems to slow down. The rush of the modern world feels insignificant against the slow drip of melting ice and the steady flicker of the moss wick. This is a life stripped down to its essence: heat, light, food, shelter, family. As the inhabitants sleep, the snow block placed in the doorway seals the world out. They are safe, they are warm, and tomorrow They will rise to face the ice again, masters of a frozen world that belongs to them.